The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host and or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of the host and or Paranormal Buzz Radio and or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is prohibited. Paranormal Buzz Radio will not be held responsible for you holding your knees, crying, and rocking in a corner in a puddle of your own urine, or being beheaded by a group of children in a cornfield. In fact, if you come across a group of children in a cornfield, we promise to make fun of you as you run away screaming in terror. Listener discretion is advised. Caution. You are now entering the all-consuming realm of Shay's Paranormal Chat, where the things that are better left unsaid are actually said.
Shut up and sit down.
You're listening to Shay's Paranormal Chat. Paranormal podcasting done Shay's way. Tons of fun.
Dude, seriously?
A bit sarcastic.
Hashtag investigator, not hunter.
But always real.
Hashtag data, not evidence.
Don't get your panties in a twist.
Oh my god, really?
This is real, raw conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody. TGIF. Welcome to Shay's Paranormal Chat. This is something new for us tonight. We're going to be doing live readings with Kelly. How you doing, Kelly?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in a pretty good mood, so that always helps.
Always good. It's hard to be in a bad mood on a Friday, though. I mean, come on.
Right? Right? I get to do this with you. I get to see all the peeps, you know?
True.
So
Fridays are the best. Only potentially fighting with Saturdays.
Yes. I have a pretty good investigation tomorrow, too, so I can't wait.
Ooh, can you disclose where you're going?
I cannot, but I can.
Sad face.
I can next week.
Awesome. I do not have investigations this weekend. I have prom tomorrow. So
that's right.
Yeah. You would think since it's not
next weekend.
Right. You would think since it's not my prom that it wouldn't consume my entire day, but I bet it does.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm lucky. I have a good size apartment, but the bathroom isn't that big, so the girls can't get ready here. They'll go somewhere else and get ready.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the 5 girls, the group of girls, they all have to get ready together.
Well, yeah, of course. See, and that's the only thing I'm like, okay, so this time it's one of my boys, so it's not nearly as hard. Yeah. But next year is my girl, and she's a princess, so this could be interesting.
Yes.
Could be interesting.
Right? It's like we're parallel universes here. Like you're one weekend with your boy, I'm next weekend with the girl, and so.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
But
and I
you know what?
My calendar across the room, so when we get to what we're doing and stuff, I'll have to get up and get it.
You're doing better than me. Mine's out in the car, so I'm going to have to go from memory. Well, I got some of it in my phone. It's all good.
There's too many shows on the network now for me to go from memory. Way too many. So I'm going to do a few shout-outs. Thank you to everybody that's listening. If you're not in chat or if you're listening later, we really appreciate it.
Yup.
And to those who have joined us in chat so far, we have Matt. We have Aaron, we have Miss Kelly, we have Wolf, we have Rowan, we have Miss Kim, we have Mama Pat. And I think that's about it so far. So how was your week?
It was good. It was crazy busy, as usual. I had something every night of the week this week. But that's okay. So,
hey, I hear you. It's always something. I actually took quite a few hours off yesterday myself and left the house and did something non-paranormal, and that's why I'm all nice and recharged. And so
Yeah. I took last Friday off for a few hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I went to my nephew's concert, but so it's not like I stayed home and rested. God forbid. What is this rest sleep stuff? Come on. Come on now. I don't sleep.
I don't know.
If I slept once, my body would start expecting it all the time. I can't sleep.
Half the time, if I sleep more than 3 hours, I wake up more tired than when I went to sleep.
This is true. There's some sort of a study that says that, like, how many hours is good for your body to sleep, and that if you can't sleep, like, a 15 or 20-minute nap is good to, like, rejuvenate your body and get a real quick pick-me-up, but half an hour to, like, 3 or 4 hours, I think it was, is actually going to make you more groggy than if you didn't take a nap. Something
that's why
like
I'm always bitchy. I only sleep about 3 hours at a time, and that's
right.
And that's usually broken up because I can't, because of my back injury. I can't stay in one position too long. So
I'd have to go find that again. But I was reading it, and I'm like,
I have heard
this
something.
is phenomenal to know this. Who knew this? So anyway,
I don't know.
Yeah, well, you know.
Do you want to hear what, before we get going? I was purposely not going to tell you this before because you want to know what my lovely daughter did to me yesterday?
What?
Like, my life isn't hectic crazy enough, right?
Right.
So I'm sitting there and I'm doing the normal page stuff. Actually, I think it was... Anyways, doesn't matter. I'm trying to get the scheduled posts out on one of the social medias. And I hear my daughter's morning alarm going off, but it's like 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh.
So I'm like, what the hell? So I get up. And it's getting louder. And I'm like, did she leave her phone? No. And I go in. And her Alexa's going off. So I'm like, okay, maybe she accidentally set the wrong time. And it's gone. So I'm like, Alexa, stop. Next thing I know, it's blaring rock music at the top volume. I'm like, Alexa, stop. And it would stop, and a new song would come on. So I'm like, Alexa, stop. Boom. It would. So finally, I'm like, I can't figure out. I'm like, what's going on? So I take a video. I'm like, make it stop. She's at school. And she's like, haha. And I'm like, are you doing this? And she's like, no.
No, of course not.
Now it's blaring French music. And it's full volume. And every time I, like, tell it to stop or turn down, boom, it goes back to something else as loud as possible. So I'm, like, taking a video. I'm like, Kate, what am I doing wrong? Because I don't know how to work. I thought I knew how to work Alexa, but now I'm questioning myself. And I'm like, in the video, I should have shared it on Facebook. I'm like, Kate, I know this is you. I'm going to kill you. All of a sudden, Shawn Mendes comes on.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I'm like, Caitlin, if this is you, this Alexa's going out the window. Wouldn't you know it magically stopped? She's like, no, don't do it. So she's in school, bored, telling Alexa what to do. I'm like, I have nothing better to do for 40 minutes than fight with Alexa.
Oh, she was making you think you'd lost your damn mind, didn't she?
Oh, man.
I love that girl. I don't even know her, and I love that girl.
Well, she's playing the video. She's like, I'll play this video in the middle of class. It was a free period, and so they hear the music blared, and then they hear me say, Kate, I'm going to freaking kill you. And the whole class busts out laughing because they know what she's doing.
Right.
So, yeah, that was quite fun.
Awesome. Yeah, good for her.
Yeah. Never boring.
Well, you know.
Hi, Darren.
My daughter, I don't know if I've told you this, but did I tell you that my daughter is going to Shawn Mendes? Yeah, June 22nd.
Oh, Kate's going too.
Is she going to be?
She's going to, is it Boston, I think?
Oh, I was going to say, that seems odd she'd be coming this far, and my kid's not going to Boston, so.
No, it's this summer sometime. Kate just got him for her birthday. She's going to see him.
Aw. Well, aren't they happy, lucky, little spoiled, rotten little baby girls?
Right? It's funny how they're so much alike.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd think good for you if Maddie did. Yeah, well. It would be funny. This is why I don't have things that can talk to me, Mama Pat, because if things start talking to me when nobody else is around, it really weirds me out. And with my abilities for computers and electronics, I would never know for sure if it was me or somebody screwing with me. I blew up my computer at work twice this week. Yeah. And that's being out sick a day. So, not quite sure how I did that, but I blew it up and IT came and fixed it. And then I blew it up again and they came and they took it from me. They took it away, Shay.
You can't handle the power.
Obviously not.
That's funny.
No, she really did, though. She came and she took my computer and gave me this 200-pound old laptop that doesn't work. And it's like, oh. All right. Well, while you were telling your story, I asked people to post their name if they wanted to get a reading. So it's Roland and Kim on the list so far. All so right. I was going to start with them.
Pay attention.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I was just doing it while you were. Figured we might as well start getting in line while we were talking. Yeah. But, alrighty. I don't have any unicorn killer cards. I don't know what to read for Roland. I'm going to read Divination of the Ancients. I tried to figure out a way to set this up better so I had space to shuffle my cards and still be able to type on the computer. Didn't work. That's okay, though.
You'll figure it out.
It's kind of working. I've got a little table beside me. You'll notice I still didn't get anything fun and exciting behind me. It's still just a brown wall.
I like the brown wall.
Yeah.
I got my Batman, my new huge ass Batman.
Batman has a huge ass? Oh, yeah, I did. I saw him Wednesday running around. All right,
Mr. says use your toes.
Shush. No. Feet are never, ever, ever involved in anything I do other than walking.
Right.
All right, Mr. Roland, we are going to use the Divination of the Ancients Oracle deck for you. All right. For some reason, I'm thinking maybe I've drawn this card for you before, but maybe not. So the card that I drew for you is the Footprints card, and this is talking about direction. And it's saying, you've been wondering which way in life you should go, and concerns regarding family, career, or life purpose have arisen. The answer is this: go towards that which brings you closer to the divine. Seek that which truly feeds your soul, for this will show you the road to tread. Be careful, however, to understand what this truly means. The ego has a wonderful way of tricking you into dreaming up get-rich-quick schemes. The truth is always consistent and loving. Step into your soul's knowing and focus on your heart's passions, talents, and interests. These clues will point you in the right direction. So what this is saying, and I think, clarification for people who have never heard me read before, obviously when I know people, like I know Roland, I know a little bit about him, so I try to take any of that knowledge that I have out of there, but because I know him, there are things that I can't not know, if that makes any sense at all.
You can't unknow something.
Right, I can't unknow Roland. So anybody who knows you, Roland, knows that you are a unique person. You have a unique way of thinking, a unique way of doing things, and you have a lot of passion behind you. And that can definitely push you in a direction. And it's a direction that you want to go. And I'm not saying that it's even the wrong direction for you, but I think sometimes your momentum gets going so much that you have trouble slowing down a little bit and thinking, sometimes I have to just wait for an answer. Sometimes I just need to wait for the clarification. Sometimes I just need to have faith that I'm on the right path. I'm going the right place. I'm not going to get deterred off this path because people are making me question myself. You know, you need to, people are always going to question you because you question other people and you make other people think. You ask the questions, and you've done this to Shay and I and Mama Pat and everybody. You ask those questions that make everybody stop and go, huh, I had never thought of that, you know? But because you make people think, some people are not going to handle that well, and they may push back against you. You need to just remember that, find what your truth is, find what your path is, know what direction you want to go, and just don't get deterred if people are not understanding you. But also don't let that momentum of trying to get the answers get too overwhelming for you. It really is, I mean, what I keep feeling, seeing is like you walking on a tightrope, and it really is just kind of this teetering act for you, where it's 1 minute you're like, I just believe, I know, I sense, I feel, and then the next minute you're like, but I have to have a solid answer, I have to have a solid answer, and you're constantly just kind of wobbling as you're walking along this path. Just remember to keep your eye on the rope so you don't fall off. I think that's the biggest message. And don't lean too far one way or the other, or again, you fall off. So keep your eye on what it is that you want, and be careful to understand what it is that you're truly trying to get the answer for. And then, again, they're saying, and sometimes you have to just remember there's not an answer. Sometimes it takes faith and belief.
Nicely said. Either my speaker froze or everybody's silent. They're digesting, I think. Oh, there we go. Here's typing. That's why. He says, waiting is the hardest part, but I get it. But I'm worried at times that I may go over the line at times. I want to see everything, but it must comport with facts at times. Like what I chatted with you a few nights ago. It's hard at times.
It is really hard, Roland. I mean, it's ridiculously hard to be patient, especially when the path that we're on is our path of self-discovery. When we're trying to figure out who it is that we are and trying to fill in the holes that are going to make us whole, it's extremely hard to be patient. But you have to remember that the universe is going to give us the things that we need when we're supposed to get it. We can push as hard as we want, but they're not going to give it to us before we're supposed to have it. So some of that knowledge, and trust me, this is just as frustrating for me as it is for everybody else, because there's times that I'm like, I want to know the answer, and I can't, or I'll be doing a reading for somebody and they'll tell me, they'll be talking about a situation and I'm trying to give them guidance on what direction to go, and they're like, we can't tell you that yet. And it's so frustrating to me to have to tell somebody that this is as far as I can give you guidance. This is where we have to stop, because from here, you've got to catch up to what I just told you before we can tell you more. But that's really the best way that I can say it, Roland. You have to catch up with what they've given you so far before they can give you more. All right. Yeah, I know where he's coming from. It's stupid hard.
I'm reading the chat. That's why we're quiet. I agree with Mama Pat, too. Mama Pat says, those of us who, well, are you shuffling? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Those of us who know you love your questioning mind. The people who may be put off are maybe just not your tribe, but I agree with Kelly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Some people don't like to be questioned, and that has nothing to do with him. That has to do with those people.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
and
I love that.
If they can't handle the questioning, then that's a problem with them. You know, that's not a problem with you, but
it's their problem. Hey, Andrew.
I stopped trying to get people to understand me a long time ago, though. You know, and that used to be part of my frustration is I'd spend so much time trying to get other people to understand me and approve of me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it was exhausting.
It was exhausting.
Yep. Yeah. And it's just like, either you understand me or you don't, but you either like me or you don't. And if you don't, that's okay. But I'm not going to fight for it, you know? And that sounds cold, but why would I fight to be someplace that I'm not
It
wanted?
doesn't sound cold to me. It sounds like everybody, just like every other part of your life that everybody experiences, you come to that point in life where you have to accept yourself and accept the fact that some people aren't going to accept you, whether it's in paranormal or anything else you do, and you have to be okay enough with yourself to stop trying so hard, because all you're doing is wasting your energy that could be focused somewhere else.
Yep. And that is honestly what I got to, is I'm okay with who I am. I am okay, and I don't need... I don't get me wrong. I love the approval. I love to be liked. So don't take me wrong. I love all of you guys. Yeah. But I'm okay if somebody doesn't, you know?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, so Kim's up next, right?
Kim's up. Yep.
That's what I was thinking about. So ready or not, it was going to be Kim, because that's where I was going with the energy, so... Okay, Kim, for you, I'm drawing a card out of the Earth Magic Oracle deck. And I've drawn your card, but I'm going to back up for a second. For anybody who is new to tarot or card readings, I guess, there are two different types of card decks. There's a tarot deck, which has a very standard structure, 56 minor arcana, 22 major arcana, 4 suits within the minor arcana, and the cards will generally mean the same thing. The Two of Cups is always going to mean duality in every deck. Sometimes the suits are different. It's typically wands, swords, coins, and cups. I had to stop and think where I was. But some decks based on the themes will have other things. So I've got one that's like wind, water, fire, air. And then I've got one that's winter, spring, summer, autumn. But then there's also oracle decks, and oracle decks don't have a set structure. They can be any type of structure. They can be anywhere from 20 cards up to 60, 70 cards. There's no limit on the number of cards. Each oracle deck will have its own theme, and I just am more drawn to the oracle cards. So throughout the night, you guys are probably going to hear me say more often that I'm reading from an oracle deck. It's just what I like better, but no particular reason. It's just what I'm drawn to. But, okay. Sorry, went off on a tangent.
No, that's good. We should have probably done that in the beginning, but I was just off in my own little...
I forgot.
Yeah.
So,
sometimes I forget how many different shows we've been on and have already talked about certain things, so I think it's something we talk about on this show all the time. But it was actually the Skeptic and the Psychic last Sunday that we talked about this, not...
Yeah.
So...
Yep, absolutely. All right, so Kim, again, the card that I drew for you was out of the Earth Magic Oracle deck. And the card that I drew is the Childhood card. And this is talking about innocence. And so what this card is saying, if I can get there, this is saying innocence is not simply the lack of guilt or shame, but a quality in itself. One that you naturally possess when you first come into this existence. There are challenges you have faced throughout life that have further shaped your personality and character. You have also likely encountered moments following a disappointment or loss when you turned sour or cynical. and no doubt have had times when layers of anger or fear blocked the flow of your vitality, your life force. Yet in spite of all of this, there is a core of innocence that you can reawaken by releasing any shame that has covered over the truth of who you are. Take any opportunity to heal this shame and let it go so you can revisit that state of purity. Doing so helps you see every moment with fresh eyes and removes the filters that inhibit your light and love from coming forth. You truly are a child of God, so allow yourself to be that. Okay, so what this card is saying to me, Kim, is basically, and it was kind of what Shay and I were just talking about, that so many people put their value and their worth on what other people think of them. So many people will let the hurdles that they encounter and the mistakes that they have made define them forever. And we can't do that. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody is human, and everybody has their hurdles. Everybody has their roadblocks. But rather than focusing on the fact that maybe you tripped over that hurdle, what you need to focus on is the fact that you picked yourself up and you kept going. You brushed the dust off and you said, this isn't going to stop me. I'm going to keep going. And that's really what you need to remember. It's so very easy for us to focus on the things that are going wrong. But we have to be mindful of our energy and where our energy goes. And the more positive that you are about the things that are going on around you, about situations getting better, the more energy you're putting towards that outcome actually happening. If a person is always focusing on, this is bad, this is going to go wrong, I can never do this. If you tell yourself you can't, then you can't. You have to tell yourself that you can. And I think this goes a little past this, though, too. I think that this is kind of stemming from things that you've had going on in the past, where in the past this has been worse for you, where people have been judgmental, or where you've been super hard on yourself, or where you didn't feel like you could be who you are and step out and say, this is me. And now you're kind of being seen more, and you're it's almost like anti-ego, you know? It's like some people are so afraid of being seen and known that they will hide from that. And I feel like maybe there's a little bit of that still, where you're struggling with it because of things that have gone on in the past, where you struggle a little bit with being okay with people saying, I know Kim, she's a great person. We really, really like Kim, you know, and that still makes you uncomfortable, which I get. Understand, as I'm saying all of this, I 100% understand this. But it's okay. And it's okay to believe the things that they're telling you, because the people that are telling you these things, Kim, it's genuine. It's real. They're telling you the things that they want to tell you, that they truly mean and believe. So I think that you can, I mean, you're never going to be one of these people that let it go to your head. So I don't think it's anything that you need to worry about. To just, basically, you need to be proud of who you are. Take the things, like I said, don't focus on the fact that you tripped over the hurdle. Focus on the fact that you've picked yourself up, and look at all the progress that you made, and look at all the things that you've done that you should be proud of. And then be proud of it and move forward.
Nice.
All right. I have not been watching chat at all. I'm sure you are, but
I am. I just sometimes
it's so weird for me to not watch.
When Roland's serious and when he's not serious. I thought he was joking at first, but I think he's serious. Can spirit guides get readings? And why would they want one?
Why would a spirit guide need a reading? They're typically the one who's telling us what to do, so they don't need any guidance.
So I was trying to, sometimes I think he's serious and he's not, and he tricks me, and other times, it's vice versa, so it's hard. He is actually being serious, okay.
catching up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would not be comfortable with that. I just wouldn't. Because again, the theory of a spirit guide, you have to remember what soul evolution is spirit guides have already progressed. Their soul has gone through all of their human experiences, and they figured all of this out. So that's why they were put in a role to help all of us figure out our shit. And they know the answers. They already know those answers. So it's not, do they always handle things in the best way? Well, maybe not. I'm sure my spirit guide could be nicer on occasion. But it's okay, because that's how we talk. But yeah, I don't think there's anything that I could tell them that they don't already know. So yeah, I don't think I'd be comfortable with that. I think that would be a very egotistical move on my part to think I could do a reading for a spirit guide. Let's just say what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, there you go. No, I was following.
Yeah. Yep. So.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a good question though, but.
It is. You know? It is. And I mean, when I'm reading for somebody, I'm speaking to their spirit guide anyways.
Yeah.
So, trust me, my spirit guide doesn't need any advice. She knows it all. Just ask her. No, but she really does, you know. I mean, and that's the whole point of a spirit guide. So, yeah, it just is. So, anywho,
Good question though.
Michelle, you ready?
I haven't seen anybody else say me yet, so.
You said me.
I don't get readings.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Matt said sure.
He's saving you. Look at him jump in there and save you.
My hero.
I'm still going to do it before the end of the night.
Well, I have the power to end the show.
Ever. I will post it for the world to see. All right, where do I want to go with that? That's got to be noisy with me thumping around the books and everything.
It's not too bad. You can hear you thumping, but it's not. Will live. It breaks up the monotony of me being quiet. Because I'm trying to let you focus, so I'm trying not to be too sarcastic and too loud. So while you're focusing, so there's a lot of. You have to keep
in mind that I'm normally reading at expos, so
yeah,
I'm surrounded by like 65 other vendors and several hundred people. So you can talk. I'm good.
Okay. It's actually the first time I've ever been on a show with live readings. Ever? I mean, you might have pulled a card here or there, but not like this. So. The silence is deafening. Matt, you are deaf. Huh? What? Hey, Cynthia. Welcome. No, you're not causing problems, Roland. You're being nice. I thought it was a good question. It was
a good question.
It was a very good question. I just couldn't tell if he was joking or not. But, him and I have the same type of sense of humor it's portrayed the same sometimes. Like, people can't tell when we're being serious or joking. So, yeah, Mama Pat adds in belly dancers and live music and speakers talking in the speaker room, etc., etc.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, Matt. I had to undo the fact that I shuffled backwards once and then every other card was the wrong direction. Sorry.
Does that matter?
Yeah, well, it does to my Virgo-ness.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I could not focus if they were like that.
I get you.
Jen B was talking. We were talking about tarot readings one time, and she was telling me that she'll shuffle, but she doesn't smooth out the deck when she shuffles. She just picks them up and shuffles again. I couldn't do that. I have to straighten the deck back out again.
Everybody has their own little secrecy. What's that word?
I have no idea. Ask Mama Pat. She'll know.
I forget what the word is that I was going for. I forget. Mama Pat will probably type it in a second.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All
Yes,
right.
that word, Cynthia. I can't say it. Oh, they both did. Mama Pat and I can't say it though.
Idiosyncrasies.
Thank you. Once I start saying a word wrong for a few hours, I will not be able to say it right. I don't know why. It's just
hardwires into your brain wrong.
Yeah, like everything else.
Yeah. All right, Matt. So the card, back up. The deck that I was using for you is actually the Gilded Tarot. And of my tarot decks, this is my absolute favorite. I have this one the longest, and I'll get another tarot deck and I go back to this one. And then I get another one and I go back to this one. So this is my absolute favorite deck. So the card that I got for you is the Two of Pentacles. And this is saying, on the shore, a man balances two pentacles. The mastery and ease of his skill creates a rainbow, making the act seem magical. The representation of the other suits, the dolphin, intelligence, swords, water, cups, and fiery light of the rainbow, wands, indicate a deep overall balance that allows for this easy control of everyday life. Like the High Priestess, Major Arcana 2, existing between poetry and science, this gentleman dances through life juggling work and joy. You have a full life and the ability to keep everything flowing. You make it seem easy. You find satisfaction in not only doing many things and doing them well, but also in not making your busyness into a competition. Be aware of overdoing for the sake of admiration of others. Don't judge yourself and others by how much you do, and don't seek achievement at the expense of quality and overall happiness. So this is a great example, guys, of where there's a description of the card in the book. This is what the author felt this card meant when he was writing the book. I agree with some of this, but I'm going to contradict some of what the book said. There was a part in here that said, be aware of overdoing for the sake of the admiration of others. Of all things, Matt, I think that that's probably wrong. You want the admiration of the people that you love, but for the most part, you're pretty happy sitting in the background and just making sure things get done and get done right. And that really is, everybody has the things that make them tick, and that's kind of the things that make you tick. When it's running like a well-oiled machine, that's when you're happiest. And if you can just sit back and watch the machine run, you're happy. It's when things break that you get lost. And it's like, I don't know what to do from here. And that's, I think, where you struggle a little bit. And that's okay. Everybody does. But in the grand scheme of things, you really do have a pretty good balance of everything that you're trying to do. You stay very neutral on a lot of things. Just one of the things that they were saying with this is when you do start losing your balance, don't let that snowball. Don't let it get out of control. And I'm trying to think of how to even put into words the feeling that I'm getting, but it's like almost like you can take something that maybe isn't that big of a deal, but because you're uncomfortable with things being out of balance, it blows up into something big, you know. And you don't do it on purpose. It's obviously, that's not an intentional thing, but it can get there. So just remember how good you are at balancing things out and how good you are at that, finding that Zen moment and finding that calm. Now I'm going to flip the other side of this coin, because sometimes I think the way that you find your calm is that you just overlook things. You're like, I'm just not going to think about that. I'm just not going to pay attention to that. That's the other side of the coin that you want to be a little bit cautious on as well. Make sure that you're not going to extremes on either side, where you're like, I'm just not going to pay attention to this problem, or, oh my God, the world's on fire. When something gets out of balance, just find that happy medium. But I really do feel like you.
Uh-oh. Hold on, Miss Kelly froze. Or my Skype died, one or the other. Oh, it's Kelly. Hold on, guys. Let's see. We'll read some while she's coming back. Let's see. I wonder if Kelly, this is from Andrew, I wonder if Kelly can put up with me for 2 days at the Paracon. I'll be driving down from Omaha. I'll get there Friday night. Oh, we'll have to see. I'm checking on Skype, guys. Give me a second. Oh, I think she's coming back. She's back.
I think she's back.
She's back.
You were sitting so still, I thought you were just listening.
No, you were gone. Like, it disconnected and reconnected you.
Well, dang, how far into it did I get before?
Maybe you were gone for almost a minute. So you were.
So did he?
You were at the
point.
Okay,
so he heard most of it then.
Yeah, he heard most of it except the very end.
Okay.
Did she get captured by aliens? No. She's still here. I can still see her. Now I forget where you were anyways. But you were at the end. You were talking about that you had already got to the flip side of the coin and all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounded like the Wi-Fi was buffering because then I heard the Skype thing going toot toot toot.
That's just craziness.
Technical difficulties. While you were away, Andrew said, I wonder if Kelly can put up with me for 2 days at the Paracon. I'll be driving down from Omaha. I'll be there. I'll get there Friday night.
There's going to be a ton of people at that Paracon. It's going to be fun. It's just going to be fun. And if I can put up with Chris Sutton and Dan Klass and Mike Ricksecker and all of them for 2 days, I can put up with anybody for 2 days.
Matthew says, sorry, don't call him Matthew. Matt says, thank you.
You are most welcome. You are most
Darren's
welcome.
Next, but I'm trying to, why are we talking about toilet paper commercials? Did I miss something? I don't know. Oh, never mind. Nothing. Keep going. I get it now. Because nothing. He was being funny again.
Oh, you guys are crazy.
They're funny.
Okay. All right. So Darren's next, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Any music playing in the background. That's what we're missing. We should have some soft, soothing music.
I can get Alexa going. I'm kidding.
Am I freezing again?
Nope, you're still there.
Hello. Okay.
You're still there.
Let me. Un momento while I send a quick reminder to my children to make sure that they are off the internet.
Okay. Hey.
Because I'm pretty sure you all don't want to hear me scream through the house, so. Our internet was out when I came home, and I saw some MediaCom trucks around the corner, so. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe somebody hit something.
You can also, remember, if you ever have that issue, you can call me.
Yeah.
It's just us. If it ever gets too bad, we can do it that way.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. The Huntsville Media Paracon. Yes, I couldn't think of it.
Yeah, it's Mike Rickseckers. It's going to be at the Mineral Springs Mall at Alton, Illinois, and it's June 1st. And I do not know the times, but there's the Paracon, and then there is an investigation afterwards of Mineral Springs. So, guests that are going to be there are going to be myself, Chris Sutton, Dan Klass, Mike Ricksecker, obviously, Vanessa, Adam Tillery, I can't even, the Gypsy Girls, the Southern Gypsies. Those are the ones. So talk about, get a warning, I'm telling you.
Don't forget my ghostie.
Yes.
I almost forgot.
I did
Everybody
too.
that is going, remind Kelly to not steal. Don't steal from Mike.
I promise I'll pay you for it, Mike.
Gettysburg. Ghosty can go to Gettysburg with us.
Yes, anybody who's going to be there, please help me remember because my memory sucks. Okay, I got to focus. Who am I reading for? Darren. See,
Yes.
My memory sucks.
It's because of all the information we have to keep in our head that, the intelligence is the first thing to go on me, memory second.
We were talking about that on the show the other night, that the more you remember, there's just only so much room.
I remember so much nonsense, so much crap, like it's unbelievable. Like, if I could get rid of, like, the first time Matt and I had a date, that date of the first date, I could,
That sounds so mean.
No. I don't want to forget the date itself. I mean, the actual date of the date.
I thought you wanted to.
No. I remember dates. I mean, I remember almost half the people on my street growing up. I remember their phone numbers from when I was 7.
Right?
So if I could get rid of that type stuff.
I was just like, good God, how bad was that date?
No. I didn't mean that. I meant the actual date of the date. Stuff like that. It's
I'm with
crazy.
You. Yeah.
The numbers I remember. Okay, I'm making a list, guys.
Sorry.
That was funny, though. That was worth it.
Struck me funny. Sorry, Matt. All right, Darren.
He deserves it. We can poke fun at him.
Right. The card that I pulled for you, I'm using the Whispers of Healing Oracle deck. This is also another one of my favorite decks. So this is the Whispers of Healing Oracle deck, and the card that I drew for you is Respect. This is saying, during a healing process, it is vital to cultivate insight, awareness of your self-worth. Realizing you deserve praise and love makes you more able to give praise and love. Think about how you can deepen your self-respect. Consider someone you respect greatly and reflect on why. Do you love yourself unconditionally? Do you have a self-deprecating sense of humor? It really isn't okay to have fun at your own expense. Do you take good care of yourself? This includes getting enough sleep, eating well, and exercising regularly. Are you able to make decisions for yourself based on your needs and wants? When you are in a healing process, having your own outlook and developing your perspective can carry you a long way. Stand up for whatever it is you believe in and be respectful of people that may have differing viewpoints. By gaining experience and improving yourself, you earn the respect of others. You will also respect yourself more. Respect is not something you acquire quickly or easily, but it will be an ongoing support of your self-assurance, and your self-assurance will be unshakable. A beautiful goddess stands before an array of lilies and daisies. These flowers symbolize an abundance of energy and confidence. The lilies specifically indicate a period of growth. The goddess is surrounded by the light of her aura. The yellow color of her aura reflects her ability to claim her power. Her crown represents strength and power. These attributes can assist you while you boost your efforts to respect yourself more. So, what this card is talking to me about, Darren, is that you are quite often a pretty selfless person. And you like to make other people happy, and you like to make other people feel good, and you like to try to do the things that other people want you to do. And sometimes you forget that, or well, not even that you forget, but it's at the expense of your own happiness. And I mean, this feels... I'm going to throw this out here. As I'm doing this reading, and he's a minute behind us, isn't he? Because there's a delay,
20,
right?
20 seconds, 30
20
seconds.
seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. As I'm doing a reading for anybody, not just Aaron, but for anybody, if I start talking about something that you don't want me to talk about, type stop, and I will stop what I'm talking about. The reason that I brought this up is this feels somewhat specific to one particular situation that's going on in your life. And it really kind of feels like it has to do with you being taken advantage of and kind of being walked on. And just there's not that mutual respect there that should be in this relationship. And I don't want to say this in a way that I'm blaming you, because I'm not blaming you, but you are allowing it. And if you allow those things to happen, it's going to continue to happen. And to be fair to the other person involved in this, if you don't speak up and tell them what it is that you want and what it is that you're feeling, not everybody intuitively knows what the other person is thinking or feeling. You have to have those conversations, even if they're uncomfortable, even if it's something that you know is going to hurt somebody else's feelings or maybe even make them mad. Sometimes you have to have those conversations because you have to love yourself enough to stand up and say, this is a conversation that has to be had, regardless of the outcome. This is a conversation that has to be had. And then you have to know that after you've had that conversation, regardless of what it is, you need to be okay with that because you stood up for yourself. You stood up for what it was that you needed and what you felt and what you need out of life. You need to respect your wants, your needs, your desires enough to say, this is not okay anymore. And then you have to, but you can't just say that it's not okay anymore. You have to say specifically, I can't go to Shay and I couldn't go to Shay and say, I'm unhappy with the way you run the show and just leave it at that. She would need details. She would need me to say, I think you need to put makeup on for me, or I think you need to wear your hair in big pink bow pretty ribbons and stuff. Or none of this is ever going to happen, by the way. But if she shows up at the next show with big pink ribbons in her hair, I'm going to love it. You're right. But
I was coughing and muted, so they couldn't hear me.
But if I just tell her that I'm not happy, but I don't tell her what it is that I'm unhappy about, she doesn't know what it is that she can fix if she chooses to fix it. And that's an important thing that you have to remember. And that's what I was trying to say, that you need to be okay with the outcome. Because sometimes if I go to Shay and I say, and I'm just picking on Shay because she's here and it's an example I can use. And she loves me and she won't hold anything against me. I love our shows, by the way. This is so all made up. But
I love you too, but I'm not wearing pink ribbons and.
I'm so disappointed now. But if I just go to Shay and I say, I'm not happy with the way the show is running, and I don't give her any explanation, she doesn't know what she could do differently to try to fix it. But let's say that I do that. I go to her and I say, okay, Shay, this is what I need. This is what I'm not happy about. These are the things that I need to change. Then I need to step back and say, whatever she decides is fine. And at that point, it is her decision. She can decide to fix the things because she wants to continue to work together with me, or she can choose to say, then you don't need to co-host the show anymore, but I need to be okay with that answer. And I know that that's hard and that sucks. And there's things that you could lose from having these conversations because I love this show that I do with her. And if I told her these things and she says, well, you're just done, you're not going to be a co-host anymore, that would break my heart. But at least I know that I did what I needed to do. I stuck up for myself. I respected myself enough to say, this is what I need. Because you have one life. You have one life. And if you spend that life not living it to the fullest, you're wasting that life that you were given. And I know that sounds dramatic, and I don't necessarily mean for it to be dramatic, but some of us are halfway through our lives. Not me, because I'm still 29, guys. Got 29 perfect. But some of us are halfway through our lives. And if you look back at the years that you have behind you, how do you feel about those years? Are there changes that you want to make? If you have to spend the next half of your life in the same situation that you're in right now, will you be happy? I think you know the answer to that, Darren. I think you know the answer to that. So if you're not happy, you have to make changes. Change can be hard. Change can be scary. Change can be terrifying. But having those conversations, regardless of the outcome, something really, really good could come from that. Sometimes you have to absolutely stir everything up to find what things are supposed to be. Because you're so lost in where you are right now
You can't see the other
that
side.
you can't see where you're supposed to go. You can't see the possibility of what it's supposed to be. And you're so scared to rock that boat that you might fall out. You don't understand that it's a beautiful swim. Fall out, have a swim, you know? That was a stupid analogy, but hey,
No,
you know.
I don't think so. No. He's putting stuff in chat that I'm not reading on air on purpose, but we do hear you. I'm answering them in the chat. I'm just not reading it on air.
That's fine. And I'm not watching chat when I do the reading, so that's why after the reading, there's a second I go back and I reread everything. So, hopefully that makes sense. And I
it does,
apologize.
and I think it resonates with him. From the stuff that he said. He said, "I can read this now. 2 oracle cards got him good." Because in the beginning of the show, he said, "Once an oracle card got him good, and this is a second one, which means I think you resonated there with him." So, I think that's great advice for anybody too.
Yeah, it is. It truly is good advice for everybody. And that's, I guess, one of the things that I would say too is listen to, even though I'm doing a reading for one particular person, that card, that reading can absolutely resonate with somebody else. So if it's talking to you, if what this card is saying or what the messages that I'm getting and passing through are talking to you, don't brush it off and say, well, that's not for me, that's for somebody else. No, if you're hearing it, it's for you too. You know, and I will tell you straight out, guys, part of that reading that I just did for Darren, I needed to hear that again, too. You know, I needed to be reminded of that today.
I was thinking that, too. Yep.
So, it's the message can be for multiple people, absolutely. So if it resonates with you, absolutely take that message to heart. On the note of reading back through what everybody's saying, Shay, I told them, you know, anybody that I'm reading for, if they say stop, you're going to have to let me know because I'm not watching.
Yeah,
After I said that, I got
wasn't
thinking, I'm not watching.
And
but,
what you were saying was resonating with him, but he put in some personal stuff that I didn't want to read out loud.
No, that's fine.
So, but yeah, he didn't say stop. I was watching. But yeah, he said, yep, I'm working on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have 2 more people.
Okay. And yes, I think we should all petition Shay to show up in pink ribbons and ponytails next time, and she needs to post a picture prior to the show.
That's not happening.
You are just not a team player, Shay.
I am, until it comes to pink ribbons and pom-poms and, you know, that type of stuff.
All right, who's up next?
Aaron. Pigtails with pink. Andrew, you're funny.
Come on. You have an amazing head of hair, woman.
Yeah, it's a lot thinner now than it used to be, and it's still tons of hair.
For anybody who doesn't follow Shay on social media, first you should. But second off, a while back, she posted this picture. She'd gone in to get a haircut, and there was so much hair laying on the floor. I thought, oh my God, she cut off all her hair. She must have like a short haircut now, like a pixie cut. No, all she had done is thinned her hair.
I think I cut like 7 inches off, but it's just still way down past the middle of my back.
There was more hair on the floor than I have on my head.
Literally.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm such a brat. I left the picture up and didn't tell anybody that it wasn't short for quite a while. Well, like hours, not days.
Yeah. 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 I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to see. And then she shows up. She's still got all her hair. I'm like, how the hell?
Because I have so much of it. I still have thicker hair than most people have.
Yeah, you see this. I mean, there's nothing to it. If I cut that much hair off, I'd be bald. I could shave my head and not have that much hair on the floor.
It was a lot.
Okay. Reading for Aaron. I will focus. rather than just sitting here being jealous of Shay's hair.
Don't be jealous. It's a pain. They're still on the pig. Andrew's still on the pigtail thing. Let's see.
Okay, Erin. So, don't take offense to this, but the deck I was drawn to you is the Fairy Tarot cards. And the card that I drew for you is the Prince of Winter card. And so this card is talking about intellect, determined, focused, and impulsive. So this is saying, he moves like a flash of light. When the Prince of Winter shows up, you know that you're in for some very quick action. His mind moves as fast as his sled, and he can instantly assess a situation, allowing him to get right to work. When he's on a mission, you may as well stand back and let him take charge, because he will, whether you want him to or not. He is idealistic, decisive, focused, and determined. He can also be a little impulsive and undiplomatic. So if this prince enters your arena, see if you can't get him to pause for just a moment of reflection to make sure that his plan really is sound. The fairy moves swiftly through the snowy forest. He loves the ride, but is he really watching where he's going?
Oh, uh-oh. I think we lost her. Hold on. Yeah, I had Skype. Hold on, it's buffering. It is a buffering. The problem is that she's not going to know. There she is. You were gone again. Every time you go to read, you're gone.
Okay, you guys have got to stop messing with that because they want to hear this. So please stop messing with the energy.
That was funny. Yeah, I'm trying to remember where you were.
I can read it again. It's fine.
All right.
So the Prince of Winter, he moves like a flash of light. When the Prince of Winter shows up, you know that you're in for some very quick action. His mind moves as fast as his sled, and he can instantly assess a situation, allowing him to get right to work. When he's on a mission, you may as well stand back and let him take charge, because he will, whether you want him to or not. He is idealistic, decisive, focused, and determined. He can also be a little impulsive and undiplomatic. So if this prince enters the arena, see if you can't get him to pause for just a moment of reflection to make sure his plan is really sound. The fairy moves swiftly through the snowy forest. He loves the thrill of the ride, but is he really watching where he's going? So this, sorry, I just peeked at the screen and saw Matt's comment. Oh my gosh.
All right, I'll now unmute since you're laughing too. I was laughing, so I had to mute it, but I was trying to laugh quietly.
This is why I don't look at the screen, because I just glanced at the screen and all I see is Matt comments. No more reading of Shay's exes.
Both of them cut out.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. All right. So, Erin, what this card is saying is that you are a fast-paced person, and you quite often you're quick to make decisions. You are quick to make things happen, and a lot of the times it goes really well for you. But sometimes, just sometimes, you forget to stop and go, wait a minute, is this the best decision for me? Or what am I going to have to clean up after I go do this? You know, this isn't a bad quality. It's really not. This is who I am. This is absolutely who I am, Erin. So you and I probably get along well. You see something, you analyze it instantly, you know, you do. But sometimes, just sometimes, you're like, you know the answer, And it may be the instant answer, but you're not thinking long term what that's going to have to do, you know?
Here she goes again. I'm telling you. She snapped her fingers. I know, I had to unmute again as soon as she went because I'm trying to behave, guys. As soon as
That's
she
probably
snapped her fingers, she was gone. Oh, she's back. You snapped your fingers and boom, you were gone.
Okay, we need to have a conversation with Spirit to quit screwing with my energy here, guys. Leave my computer alone.
Yes, I need CPR.
Does it work every time if I snap my fingers?
No, now you're good. It's just when you're talking to Matt and Aaron. I don't know. We'll see if it happens when you read for Cynthia. Matt could be right.
Maybe, yep, somebody said, stop picking on him. Just make sure. Yeah, that's it.
Shut up. No, I'm kidding.
Just, Aaron, when you're making those decisions, 90% of the time, that instant decision you're making, it's the right decision. It's a good decision for right then. Just think long term, what else you might have to do. You know, it's like standing at the example that they gave of the sledding. You're standing at the top of the hill and you're looking down this hill thinking this is going to be one hell of a ride and I'm going to have a blast and I need to avoid that tree that I can see right there. But if you're only focused on the one tree and you veer off to the right, you could smash into another tree. So make sure that you're looking at all of your obstacles and make sure that that you are watching for the other things that are around that could potentially go wrong as well. Again, I'm not saying that instant avoid that tree. That's not a bad thing. Avoid that tree. That's absolutely what you should do. Avoid that tree. But just don't forget to look
at the big picture.
Right. Don't forget big picture. Don't forget to look and see, are there other trees around that I'm going to smash into? Is the end of this hill a cliff and I'm going to plummet off the end? You know, just pause one more second at the top of that hill before you jump on your sled and slide down and make sure that you've thought it through all of the plans. So now you know to veer right and then left to avoid that second tree. You'll still do it. You still make those impulsive decisions, which are great and they're good decisions, but just make sure that you're always remembering to think ahead.
He gets ya.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if there's anything else that they.
Hello, Miss.
This is also talking just about some sudden and unexpected changes. So I think that we're not just talking about the things that have happened in the past. I think we're talking about some things that are coming up as well. This is who you are, but I think this is kind of like a little forewarning that there's things coming up where you're going to be needing to make those snap decisions. And just make sure that you're thinking about these things because it feels like, and they're not even giving me, I'll tell you up front, they're not giving me any indication of what it is, but there's at least one real big thing coming that you're going to have to just think about that decision before you make you make your decision. So, yeah. All right.
One more when you're ready.
Hang on, I got to scroll back through.
No, go ahead. You're fine.
Definitely after I looked at the one, I stopped looking.
Yeah. Matt has great one-liners.
It was just so funny that I just peeked and that is where my eyes landed. So
I was just about to bust out laughing, so I muted myself, but then you started laughing, so it made me laugh even harder. Every time you hear me coughing, but I'm muting myself for them most of the time.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Cynthia says it won't surprise me if the spirits block her reading from me.
I doubt it.
Really rough week this week. Yes.
Wouldn't you think that would make it all that much easier, Miss Cynthia? Come on, I know you even when you tell me there's not things going on with you. She messaged me something the other day and I answered her, whatever. I don't remember what it was, her or me messaged first. But then I'm like, what's wrong? Are you okay? She's like, get out of my head. I don't mean to do it. I'm sorry.
It just happens. We'll see if the spirits block her. Aaron says thank you too.
You are most welcome. I feel like I know them better now.
I'm mute happy. Well, it started because I keep coughing, so I'm trying to mute it while she's doing reading so you guys don't hear me coughing. And then that one time after that comment, I had to.
Well, see, and the funny part, guys, is I can still hear her talking, and I don't know that she's muted, so I may answer her, and you guys didn't hear what she said.
The pigtail thing that happened.
Yeah.
I didn't mute myself for Matt's reading. I muted myself for Aaron's reading in case I open mouth insert foot. But I didn't laugh. I didn't make any jokes. I was a good girl. Mute happy. I mute myself and still talk, Andrew. There's no muting me.
I need to pull 2 for her, so give me a minute.
Okay. Making sure I didn't miss anything.
And I'm able to keep going if there's still people who want readings, so.
I haven't seen anybody. I'm writing them down, so.
Okay. Okay. So, Cynthia, for you, I'm using the Whispers of Healing Oracle deck for your first card. And the card that I drew was the Reliable card. And this is saying, one of your biggest challenges may be relying on yourself. It is easier for you to be dependable for someone else. When you offer to help someone move, clean up, or with some sort of project, you make a commitment to them and you make sure you follow through. Yet when it comes to making a promise to yourself, you are not so steadfast. Being accountable to yourself is the first step in really shifting your relationship with you. How many times have you made a commitment to yourself but quit soon afterwards? When you resolve to get a good night's sleep, to start and stick to an exercise program, to eat healthy, to start writing, or to finish off a project, you want to know you can count on yourself to do it. Begin a new practice of self-reliance by keeping small commitments to yourself. Use a calendar, notebook, or some other tracking device to list your goals. Be specific about time frames or completion dates. If you have been putting off cleaning out a drawer or something simple like that, put it on your calendar. Make a date and stick to it. You have renegotiated with yourself so many times, you may not trust in yourself. Follow through with whatever you have told yourself you will do. Give yourself something small to accomplish every day. Take pride in yourself and your willingness to let yourself down, and your unwillingness to let yourself down. A maiden plays a harp on a beautiful moonlit night. Candles surround her as she strums her melody. A lit candle represents the 4 main archangels. The flame is Archangel Michael, fire. The smoke from the lit candle is Archangel Raphael, air. The melting wax is Archangel Gabriel, water. The water itself is Archangel Uriel, earth. These archangels are the perfect energies to work with you as you shift your pattern from not following through to wholeheartedly committing to the promises you make to yourself. Angels are 100% love. They can guide you to the best decisions and outcomes. Dedicating yourself to your own goal and commitments will have many benefits. You will have a stronger, more trusting relationship with yourself. It is time to be your own best friend. Okay. So, Cynthia, I know you. You work yourself to the bone. You give 150% of everything you have to the things that you're doing. And it's not just work specifically that you go and you have to put your 8 hours in or your 9 or your 10 hours in or whatever craziness they're requiring of you. Anybody can fill a chair. Anybody can fill a role. You don't do that. You care about the work that you're doing. You care about the people that you're managing. You care about the outcome of what your actions are providing, not just at work, but in your life, in everything that you do. And in some places that's okay, but in other places you have to understand there's only so much you can do. There's only so many things that you can control. And you have to draw a line somewhere. You have to be able to say that I need to take care of me. I need to promise myself that I'm not going to let this crap that's going on here wreck the rest of my day. I'm not going to let this crap interfere with everything. I don't have to be in charge of everything. You have to not give your energy to other people all the time. You know, I use the example of a cell phone quite often because it's something that makes sense to all of us. You have to think of yourself as a cell phone. You start out your day, maybe, 100% charged. My battery is a little broken. I don't ever start out at 100%. But let's say you start out with as full of a charge as you can get at the beginning of your day. If you don't use your phone at all, your battery is going to stay charged. If you use your phone for an hour, your battery is going to go down, absolutely, but it benefited you. But now if you turn around and you give your phone to this person to make an hour phone call, and you give your phone to that person to make an hour phone call, and this person to make an hour phone call, by the time you get that phone back, your battery's dead. Those other phone calls did not benefit you. There was nothing that you got out of it other than letting them do what it was that they wanted. It benefited them. And I know that that sounds really, really selfish to say, well, if it doesn't benefit you, think about if it's something that you should be doing. But there's a level between being selfish and needy and arrogant and needing everything and self-maintenance. And you are missing the self-maintenance side of things. You love. You care. You take care of people. You will embrace everybody and share your energy with them without a second thought. And that is part of what makes you the wonderful person that you are. And it is part of what makes people love you so much. But sweetie, if you keep giving that energy, at some point, you blow up. You quit working. You have your meltdowns. You have your breakdowns. If you keep running your battery too hard, too long, your battery dies. And then you have to go get a new battery. Well, that's really, really hard on a human person to have to go get a new battery. So I know that sounds extreme, and no, I'm not telling you that you're dying. I would tell you that if you were. But you have to take care of yourself. You just have to. And you have to figure out how to separate your energy from the blood-sucking dementors. Oh my God, dementors. I have to tell you a story when I'm done with this. You have to figure out how to separate yourself from the dementors that are in your life, that are sucking the soul out of you, and maintain you and who you are. Because you don't like it when you get mad. You don't like it when you get angry. You don't like it when you get sad. You don't like it when you get overwhelmed. These are all the things that then, when that happens, you turn around and you kick yourself about it. And then you feel even worse about yourself. And it's like this snowball effect. And it is perfectly acceptable to get irritated by stupidity. But don't let that stupidity wreck the rest of your day. Don't bring that home with you. Make a very clear cut between this is here, this is here. I cannot allow this energy to affect my life anymore. And sweetie, you know that I, of all people, know how hard it is to say, I will not let this energy interfere with me anymore. But you have to sometimes. You have to just make yourself stop caring until it becomes a natural thing for you. So now, before I even pulled the first card for you, I was told that I needed to draw a second card from you. So I've got my tarot decks and I've got my oracle decks, but I have one other deck that I had a friend recommend it to me, and I almost didn't buy it because it's not a typical deck, but it's called the Power of Surrender cards. There's no book that comes with these. They are straight simple. It is what it is. But I love these cards. I love these cards. And what I use these cards for is when we're offering you guidance, when we're offering you a path forward of what it is that you're supposed to do, I know personally that it's really easy to hear, this is what you should be doing, this is what you should be doing. But sometimes you need that extra little step of, but how do I do that? That's what I find these cards are helpful for. So that's what this card is for. So I drew one of the Power of Surrender cards for you. Sorry. So this card is saying, surrender the idea that you can fix someone. It's time for a relationship to shift. If it doesn't work to try to fix someone or something, each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. And I'm elaborating on this now. People need to be accountable for his or her own actions, for his or her own outcomes, for their own healing and growth. It is not your job to make sure that everybody else is successful and wonderful and happy. Your job is to make sure that Cynthia is healthy, happy, and growing. That's your job. That is your primary job. If you have time and energy left after that, then absolutely share that love with other people. You will. You always will, because it's just who you are. But don't let them kill your cell phone battery, okay? Yeah. Sorry, I just totally ripped on her. She probably hates me now.
No, Roland said, I love her too much, and I try to tell her that. Thank you for the affirmation.
Affirmation.
Yes.
Affirmation is something entirely different.
I know. That's what I get for trying to read it so far away. As soon as I started saying it, I knew I was saying it wrong. I think Cynthia, I can't even talk. Cynthia and I are a lot more alike than a lot of people realize.
Yeah, well, like I said, there are messages that need to be heard by multiple people.
I take messages every time I hear somebody's card. I take messages when I'm walking down the street and hear something. I take what I need to remind myself of these things. So I fully agree with that.
Who needs jumper cables and why?
When you were talking about it's too hard for a person to get a new cell phone battery, but that's hard for a person.
Oh,
He went to type in hook up to jumper cables. It came out hoe up, but he deleted it really quick, thinking nobody saw it. But I was laughing too hard. And, I'm the queen of typos, so he fixed it real quick. I just happened to be looking at the right time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it made me laugh, But he meant hook up to, he's being funny, but it came out, So I was making fun of him. Because as soon as he put it in, he deleted it, like instantly. But it was just long enough for me to read the beginning, and I knew where he was going. But so, Mama Pat, yes, there are messages for other people, Kelly. Kelly in all capitals.
Yeah, I know.
I thought that said slush it, Mom. It says shush it. My vision's still a little off.
Cynthia, I love you. And I know that was pretty harsh, but I also know that you need to hear things sometimes without the sugar on top of it. So you hear it. And yep. I hope you know that any reading that I ever give you, there's love behind it and the absolute best intentions. So please don't be mad at me. Okay. I thought I saw one more in there. Somebody had asked for one.
Yes, Wolf. One more.
Okay.
Wolf.
All right. I knew this, and I don't know why I need to know this, but what is Wolf's real name?
Adam.
Okay, yeah. I don't know why. I just needed to.
I had to think for a second. I was like, what? What do you mean his real name? Then you mean his real name?
I knew somebody had said that one time, but...
Yeah. There's a lot of A's that come in.
Okay, sorry.
Roland, you can get me a beer. It might
me
be
too.
a long delivery, but hey.
Me too. I'm a Mexican, though, so I need a Corona.
You're a what, sister?
Sorry. We're Mexican. My grandpa was full-blooded Mexican. And my nephew couldn't say Mexican, and it was Mexicaskin.
Okay.
And I forget sometimes. We don't go to Texas Roadhouse
I thought
either.
it was like a form of veganism or something I hadn't heard of. I was like, what?
We're Mexicaskin. And we don't go to Texas Roadhouse. We go to Tuckus Ruckus.
Oh,
Yeah, well, you know.
While
yeah.
you're shuffling, Cynthia says, love you too, Kelly. You nailed it good. Just hard to figure out how to focus on me.
That's why you have people around you who will remind you. When you don't want to listen to Roland, then I'll chime in.
Hi, Luna. Thank you for coming, Luna girl.
Luna.
The beautiful Luna. Luna's kids are around our kids' age. I bet you one of them have to have prom. I don't know how they do it there, but one of her kids got to be going to prom. Simply after a lifetime of being a caregiver, I got to pick this up. I can't read it that far. Message I've been hearing a lot. To take care of me. It sure is hard. Yes, it is. It's one of the hardest things for some people.
Yes, Mama Pat, wouldn't you agree?
Yep.
Sorry.
She has a Caitlin too. So June 4th. Is it your daughter or son that's going, Luna? Sorry, she's shuffling, so I'm talking to Luna. Sorry, guys.
You're fine.
I don't get to talk to Luna much anymore.
Okay. So I will tell you, this is going to be weird because I've never called him this. So I will tell you, Adam, that I was told I needed your real name again. And I did know that, I just forgot because, memory sucks. That I needed to read your energy, not the name that you hide behind. And I don't know what that means, but they have said that multiple times, so I needed to pass that along.
Mama Pat says, yes, Kelly, I know it's true. It's the how that is difficult. Exactly. And, some of us rely too much on other people's, once you start the process of taking care of yourself, other people's reactions to it can also throw you off. And sometimes people need a reminder because sometimes you'll come across as the bitch when you're finally like, okay, this is what I need. I need to take care of me. And somebody gets butthurt. So
yeah, because you finally...
Yes.
Yeah. You finally start taking care of yourself and everybody's like, wow, you're being selfish. No, you're not. You're finally doing what you deserved this entire time, I had to have that argument with somebody the other day, not Mama Pat, but somebody else, about that I'm doing a lot. I'm doing a lot right now, and I'm busy all the time, but I deserve to be busy. I did my time of raising my kids, and not that my kids are grown and out of the house, but they're big enough at the point now that I can go do some things. I squashed my gypsy nature for a long time to be a mom, and I'm glad that I did. I'm not saying that I shouldn't have, or that I regret it, or that I would have done it any other way. I chose to be a mom, and I love the fact that I did that, and I had that time, and I still have time with my kids. But there is absolutely nothing wrong with me saying, this is my time to do some things for me too. And people need to remember that it's not selfish.
Hey,
okay.
I'm in the same boat.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, so the card that I drew for you, well, the deck that I was guided to, go figure, was the Earth Magic card. It's an oracle deck. And the card that I drew is the Wind card, and this is talking about activation. The lethargy you feel is the result of a lack of activation. In other words, something that stirs your senses. This could be anything from walking outdoors, feeling the breeze on your body, or inhaling the different aromas that nature herself provides. Or it could be finding the pleasure in a warm bath that helps you realize the tension and stress from your mind and body. Music may activate your hearing, which sparks the pleasure centers in your brain. Art may activate your emotional responses. The touch of another human may activate a deep need to be physically held in some manner once again. Now is the time for action. Engage in some activity and be fully present so that you forget about your surroundings and enter into that timeless and multidimensional experience of union with the focus of your creative attention. Let your physical body be active. Movement alone, whether quietly dancing by yourself or hiking up that hill over yonder, will require you to be as present as possible in your body. Enjoy. So what this card is saying to me is that you kind of hit this pattern of just going through the motions. You kind of have just, you're in a routine. You do the same things every day. And it's not that you're like ridiculously unhappy, not saying that, but you're not seeking out the things that spark your fire, that excites you, that puts yourself out there and gives back to your body, this kind of somewhat the same message as Cynthia, although I'm not saying that you give away everything. I'm just saying that you need to find the things that are going to give back to you as well. We have a really bad habit of, when we're busy, we get up, we go to work, we come home, we do homework, we do supper, we do chores, we do bath, we do bed, and then we do the same thing the next day over and over and over and over. While you're in that routine, are you remembering to pay attention to the things that are around you? Are you remembering to take a look up at the sky and see that beautiful sun and appreciate the sunshine that's there and let it recharge you and bring that happiness to you? Are you allowing yourself to, are you making time for yourself to go and do the things that you enjoy? Because we get so busy that we forget that we have to stop and do some of the things that we're working to do. We get so used to all the work that we have to do, we forget why we're working. And I think that that's what this card is trying to remind you of. Don't forget why it is that you do everything that you do. It's so that you can enjoy things. But sometimes it takes a little bit of effort from our side. If we don't make a point of going and doing the things that we want to do, or that would make us happy, and we may think ahead of time that it's not going to have that big of an impact. But once you get there, you realize how badly you needed that, And I will tell you, as I'm saying all of this, what popped into my head is something that's going on with me today. And they do this a lot to kind of give me examples. I got invited to go meet up with a friend after the show and have a drink. And there's part of me that just thought, I really want to, because I like this friend and I enjoy spending time with this person and we have wonderful conversations. And I'm like, yeah, I want to. But here comes Friday night and it's getting late and I'm tired and it's been a long week and I'm thinking it would just be so easy to stay home. It would be okay if I just stayed home. But I know if I make myself go, I'm going to have fun and I'm going to be glad that I went. But I have to make the effort to say, I'm going to go. And I think that's what this card is saying to you, is that it's not even that you're not seeing the opportunities, but you have to take advantage of those opportunities. You have to find the things and make the effort to make them happen. And sometimes you have to make them happen. If the opportunities are not presenting themselves to you, then you have to make that happen. You have to call up a friend and say, let's go to dinner. Let's have a drink. Let's talk on the phone. Sometimes it can just be, you just need a phone call to talk to somebody for a while because you haven't had a good in-depth conversation for a while. I don't even know why we started talking, but Shay and I were on the phone a while back and it was going to be just a real quick phone call. And I think we were on the phone for like 3 hours,
Over 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
And anybody that knows me knows that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't use my phone for calls. What are you, crazy?
Calls? That's what those do? That's what we're supposed to use those for? No way. But I don't ever take 3 hours to just sit and talk to a friend. And it wasn't because a friend was having a problem and I needed to be there for her and I had to talk her through anything. We were just talking. And that was such a decompression for me that it was amazing. But I had to make time to allow that to happen. And I did, and it was wonderful. And those are the things that I think that they're trying to help you see. It's just, don't forget to take those times. Don't forget to take the time to unwind, to reward yourself for how hard you're working, to embrace the opportunities that are being presented in front of you. Again, I'm not saying that you're an unhappy person. Don't take that as any of this. I think you are, and you're extremely supportive of everybody else. But again, this is where I'm saying it kind of goes back to what I was telling, I think, Cynthia, is you have to take care of yourself too. You know, I know that you're a huge supporter of a lot of people, and you're a huge supporter of mine, and I appreciate that. And I never want to tell you, don't come listen, because I love having you in chat. But there's absolutely no hurt feelings if you said, hey, I missed the show because I was having dinner with a friend. I would love that. I would love that you took that opportunity, you know. And again, please don't take that wrong, because I love having you here because you're great energy. But but you can take that time and just take advantage of the opportunities. Find those opportunities. Sometimes you have to make them yourself. But just, it's time to kind of stir the pot a little bit, get the routine a little bit different, get things different from what you're doing every day. Find the ways to break up that monotony that you hit, because things get boring, and then we get bored, and bored's not good. So find a way to just stir things up a little bit every once in a while. That's the biggest message of that. In a good way. Don't stir things up in a bad way, you know, because you could go out and cause all sorts of hell and discontent, but not what I mean. So, anyways, sorry, I just jumped in back to chat. And, you know, Wolf, I understand that. I do. It's funny, but I was talking to I think it was Mama Pat I was talking to. I've got a lot of friends. I do. But in reality, I don't have a lot of friends that are right here by me. I have friends all over the country. But I can't, again, using Shay as an example, it's not like I can call up Shay and say, let's go grab a drink, you know, because that's a long-ass drive to go get a drink.
Yeah, it would take over 24 hours.
You know, so I get it. I do. Yeah. But maybe that's why they brought...
Oh, she's freezing again, and he's not even my ex. I swear. Hold on. Technical difficulties with Kelly McCarville. We're coming back, I think. Hold on. She might be. Nope. Hold on. So I'm glad you understand, Wolf. We'll give her a second. She's probably still talking. She probably doesn't even realize that she's frozen. So let's see.
Oh, I'm hearing you again.
Oh,
a little bit.
She is. I knew she was coming back. She wasn't leaving us. She's still frozen. Oh, she might be back.
Are you back?
Yeah, you're back. There you go. I swear he's not my ex.
Okay.
I swear.
Sure.
Yeah.
Something you need to tell us about Wolf, Shay?
Yeah.
I froze again.
Nope, you're there.
Can you hear me still?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Goodness
this is craziness.
Gracious. Yes. Yeah. That's okay. That was our last one anyways. Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me, but we're hour 40 in, so can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? How about now? All right, guys. I think
I can hear you again now.
Yep, all right, quick, while you can hear me, throw out where you'll be.
It's a little choppy still, but I can hear you kind of, sort of.
Where are you going to be next week?
So what do I got going on? Next Monday is my intuitive journey class. here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and we'll be doing candle magic. And then Wednesday's show of the Realm Walker will be Psychic Jen B as my guest. And then next Friday night, so 1 week from tonight, I will be in New Jersey at the New Jersey Para-Unity Expo. And I'll be out there with like Dan Class and Dustin Perry and Nick Groff and Grant Wilson and Amy Allen and Amy Bruni and lots of really cool people. So I am ridiculously excited.
I can't wait to see those
I know
videos.
Well, and I think I'll have to look back through the email that they sent me because they said something about we need to be careful with live streaming because there's like some rules about where we can and can't live stream, which I guess makes sense. But if I can, I will. I got to go back and read the rules, though. Okay. Don't want to get kicked out.
Don't break any rules.
That would be bad. And it may just have been that we can't live stream during the presentations, but I can't remember.
Could be, yeah. I understand. I totally get that.
Yeah, but I'll take pictures and I'll post pictures and do everything like that. So if I remember, I'm a horrible person about going to stuff like this, and then I forget to take pictures with people. It's always after the fact that Dan and I have been someplace, and one of the other of us will send us a note to the other. Shit, we forgot to take a selfie again. Yeah, we did. So we've decided that from now on we're just going to Photoshop a photo of us together, and it'll be good.
I'm good at that.
Well, there you go. See? Next time I forget, I'm going to reach out to you and say, you have to fix this for me, Shay.
Yeah, as long as you have the right type of pictures, I'm pretty good at that. I mean, I'm not good enough where you probably can tell that it's
I want it to,
but it's done good.
I want it to be obviously Photoshopped.
Yeah.
I want it to be obviously Photoshopped.
I can't, pretend I'm, in the room with somebody. But it's close enough where it's like, okay, that still looks good, but it's,
I want it to be obviously Photoshopped, so it's even more funnier.
Yes.
Even more.
Now, if I get bored, I have time to get bored, I'll find a picture of each of you, a funny picture of each of you, Photoshop it and send it to you just for the hell of it.
There you go. Are you really not going to let me pull a card for you, Shay?
No, I don't accept readings. No, I don't want a reading. Nope.
All right, nope. I give them to you anyways. Nope. I pass along the messages to you that I need to. So.
Oh, hi, Trinity. Come on in. So I forget where I was.
We were saying where we're going to be. Miss Shay, where are you going to be? What have you got going on?
Next Friday, I will be right here, same bat time, same bat channel. Damn chapters.
What are we doing next week? Do we remember?
You're not on next week.
Oh, hey, that's why I don't remember. I'm in New Jersey next week, duh.
Yes.
See, I can't remember crapoli, people. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I might have a guest co-host. Might be a surprise. You guys might have to, as in, And so, and then I won't be anywhere until June.
Awesome.
I mean, other than my normal investigations.
I was going to say, well, that's not completely true because
nowhere in public.
You have an investigation coming up, I happen to know.
I have 2 already this month still. 2 more this month. And then June, the first week or so of June is going to be busy.
And then June 8th, I get to meet her, really, really meet her. Yay!
Yes, for sure.
What if we meet each other in person and we just really can't stand each other?
It would be like internet dating.
Am I internet dating you?
Yeah, and then you meet in person and then,
You don't look anything at all like your picture, Shay.
That's because I'm good at Photoshop. I'm one of those people that can go next door, literally over there, 1 minute walk, and if my hair and makeup is done, the woman's like, "Hi, how are you today?" And I'm like, usually you say, "What's up, bitch?" And, oh my God, it's you. So.
Oh my gosh.
Don't forget. Kim says, "Don't forget her ghosty."
I will certainly try not to, but I swear I will not take offense to anybody who wants to message me June 1st. June 1st, and remind me, pick up a ghosty. And you can also email Mama Pat and remind her that she needs to get one too.
Encyclopedia Pat.
Because as smart as she is, she does forget things.
That's why she forgets, because she has all this knowledge in her head. I'm telling you.
Yeah, there's truth to it.
Let's see. Summer Network. What is today? Today's Friday. I had to think.
All day long.
Yeah. Well, the way my brain thinks is, instead of thinking, what day is today, I'm like, which co-host am I on with? Okay, it's Kelly. That means it's Friday. So there's no show Saturday. There's no show Sunday because of Mother's Day. No show Monday. So come back Tuesday for Into the Pit. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. So, Into the Abyss with Peggy Gypsy is actually back next Saturday. So, can't wait for that one. I think that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah, our quick little show went almost 2 hours again. Time flies when you're having fun, people.
Thank you so much for everybody who allowed me to do a reading for them tonight. I appreciate it. I don't think I spend enough time saying that I know how lucky I am, that I have the gifts that I do, and that I have been allowed to be the person who passes those messages on to everybody. And for me, I mean, for anybody who hasn't heard me say this before, anything that I could possibly do for anybody else, it gives just as much back to me. This, we've talked before about finding who you are, finding your truth, finding your path. This is what completed me. This is what filled my holes. And that sounded horrible. That sounded really bad.
I was going to leave it alone, but
This is what filled the pieces of me that were missing. And I'm grateful every day and every time and every reading that I get to do for people. So thank you guys. I really do appreciate it.
Yes. On the last note, happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. Hope everybody has a great weekend. And so make sure you tune in Tuesday for Into the Pit and Wednesday for Realm Walker with Kelly.
Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Everybody be sure to just blow up Mama Pat's phone on Sunday, because she is everybody's mama.
She is. I now don't even add the Pat half the time. It's just Mama in chat.
Well, and it was funny because at first when we started doing chats, I tried calling her Pat in chat because people should know her name, I thought, and then I'd find myself calling her Pat outside of that, and I still do on occasion. But now everybody's calling her Mama, so I'm back to being able to call her Mom again.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
But I'm not even kidding, guys. Blow the hell out of her phone because it will be hilarious. She'll be. Oh no, she won't quite be on vacation yet. I was going to say she'll be on vacation, so it's double funny, but not quite yet. So, but happy Mother's Day, Mommy. I love you. Thank you for being who you are and helping me be who I am. I appreciate it.
Oh, that was sweet. All right, guys. Later. Have a good weekend.
Love you guys. Bye.
Thank you for listening, and for all things Paranormal Buzz Radio related, check out our website at paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram.